We're starting a little section on systems of inequalities, and I thought it might be a good idea just to go over inequalities and graphing and what this means. So just a quick review. We have symbols for inequalities. We have this symbol means less than. This symbol means less than or equal to. This symbol means greater than. And this symbol means greater than or equal to. What you can maybe use to remember is that when you've got this bar underneath, that's like the second part of that equal sign, so that's how we know that it's going to be equal to. So when we're looking at inequalities, one thing with a number line that you want to remember is that anything to the left of another number is going to be less than. I like to use 0 as a benchmark, and in a sense, I'm going to be connecting the dots here. So the first statement that we have for number 1 says n is less than or equal to -5. So I need to find where -5 is on the number line. There's -5. So I would say to myself, well, what number is less than -5? And I know that -6 is less than -5 because if I owe someone $5, I don't owe them as much as if I owe them $6. So I know that I'm going to go over to the left. If you're not comfortable with the negatives, you can say, well, you know what, I'm going to pick another number. Instead of picking something that's to the left of the negative, I'm going to go with 0. I'm going to say, is 0 less than -5? And the answer is no, it's not. So you can see that my red arrow is not going in the direction where the 0 is. Less than -5, it's got to go over to the left. Number 2, n is less than or equal to 5. Oh, and I also have a closed circle on here, if you see that. And let me go back to my symbols. If it's less than, it's open. If it's less than or equal to, it's closed. Greater than, it's open. Greater than or equal to is closed. Closed means it has to include the number that it's on. So now I have less than or equal to 5. So I go to the 5. It's got to be a closed circle. And I'm going to pick a number that's less than 5. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to draw my line with my arrow, covering all the values that are less than 5. Number 3, x is less than 1. Less than, it's going to be an open circle on 1. And the numbers that are less than 1 are all the numbers to the left. So I'm going to go that way, to the left. R is greater than 2. I'm going to go over to the 2, open circle because it's just greater than. Numbers that are greater than 2 include 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to make sure that I cover those numbers to the right. You can pause the video and go ahead and try 5 and 6 on your own. 5 is n is greater than 5, open circle on 5, going to the right. R is less than or equal to -2, close circle on -2, going over to the left. And I'm going to stop here and go on to the next section. The other thing that we have to remember is how to graph linear equations. So this is a little review on graphing linear equations, which will help us when we have to shade them. So remembering we have y equals 2x minus 3. This is in y equals mx plus b format. We're going to go over to the y-intercept, which is -3, and that's where we start, 0, -3. Our slope in this case is 2. I'm going to put a 1 underneath it just so I can remember. I am going to rise 2 from that y-intercept, 1, 2, and then I'm going to go over 1, and then you're going to use your straight edge and please extend all the way. It's going to make a difference when we shade. Y equals 2x minus 3 looks like this. Over on number 2, we have y equals -3x plus 2. So we are going to start at the y-intercept of 2 right here. And now our slope in this case is a negative. So I am going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over 1. 1, 2, 3, over 1, and I'm going to make my line going here, and that's my equation for this one. Number 3, y equals 1/2 x minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm all the way down at the bottom. Up 1, over 2. Up 1, oops. That was not up 1 over 2. That was up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. So this one here is way in the corner. That's not a very good line. Negative 2/3 x plus 4. Go ahead and pause so you can see if you can do this on your own. 2, 3, 4. And then you have negative 2/3 x down 2 over 3. And there's your line. I'm going to skip number 5 because it's not in slope-intercept form. Y equals 3. You know what I'm going to do with 5? I'm going to make this an x equals 4. X equals 4. If you remember, vertical line, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. And y equals 3, 1, 2, 3, horizontal line, right at y equals 3. This is a horizontal line, and that's a vertical line. You will see how both of these sheets will relate to what we're going to start in class on Friday or Thursday.